Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Mutyara Sabita. I'm from class D, and today I will talk about synthesizing, and this task is to fulfill the final test of critical reading. Okay, let's start. The table of contents is synthesizing definition, difference between paraphrasing, synthesizing, and summarizing, how to synthesizing, and a synthesizing example. The first one is synthesizing definition. Synthesizing is a complete and original piece of writing that summarizes information or viewpoint from multiple sources. The summary is assembled into a new article with a single unit that meets the writer's requirements. In scientific writing, synthesizing is a summary of many sorts of reference sources that are in line with the writer's needs. The second one is difference between paraphrasing, synthesizing, and summarizing. Summarizing is a summary helps you understand the key ideas and content in an article, part of a book, or a cluster of paragraphs. Paraphrasing retell the original text with our own words. Paraphrasing material retains the original ideas and length of a selection but allows you to restructure the information and use your own voice. Synthesizing is a summary from two or more sources with retell the original sources with our own words. Synthesizing material in sources brings information together in new ways and helps you to interpret it for yourself and your audience. The third is how to synthesizing. The first one is the author read various reference sources quickly and critically, and then the author perform mandatory activities such as critical reading, completing summaries, and completing an overview. Critical reading is an activity of reading reference sources such as books, research reports, or related research journals properly and thoroughly. And then completing a summary. A summary is a short article from a reference sources that contains the main idea and is arranged in a coherent manner in accordance with the order in the reference source. Compile an overview. An overview is a short article that contains the main ideas of several chapters and reference sources that are considered interesting, appropriate, and related to the author's writings. Then the next stage is compiling the synthesis, is to understand and master the technique of making quotation and the referral system. And then the last stage is to create and compile a bibliography such as reference books, related research journal, and research reports used by the author in the scientific paper. And the last one is synthesizing example. Communicative language teaching. In language teaching, there are some teaching strategies that are shown by the linguists in Rogers and Richard. They are the oral approach and the situational language teaching, the audiolingual method, communicative language teaching, total physical response, the silent way, community language learning, the natural approach, and suggestopedia. Communicative approach is oriented in language teaching learning based on communicative tasks and functions. The key principles of communicative approach are A. Focus on all components of communicative competence. B. Designed to engage learners in the use of language for meaningful purposes. C. Fluency and accuracy are seen as complementary principles underlying communicative techniques. D. Students ultimately have to use language in unrehearsed contexts. E. Students are given opportunities to focus on their own learning process. And F. Teacher as facilitator and guide for the student. In a communicative approach, what matters are the needs of the students and how the language works. The goal of the communicative approach is to help students learn how to use language well. The function of language, not grammar, is the main point of reference for each unit of study. In other words, grammar is not taught as an end in itself, but as a tool to help people communicate. Language teaching, communicative language teaching, or CLT, is a set of activities that teachers use to teach language in a communicative way. These activities include creating a language immersion environment in the classroom, planning lessons around topics that are interesting to the student, asking students to think critically, reinforcing concepts and skills from the regular classroom, incorporating culture, and giving students chances to use the target language. Therefore, since language is learned through communication, CLT is thought to be a better way to teach and learn speaking than other methods. They also say that a teacher can encourage the students to work on the language by letting them try things out and see what works and what doesn't. They should talk to each other either on their own, in pairs, or in group. Okay, that is all. I'm sorry if there are any mistakes in my pronunciation. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.